Okay guys, welcome to my CSGO strategy book. We're going to talk about basic tactics on DE Inferno. So we're going to talk about a default tactic, an A-site smoke tactic, a wrap A-site tactic, a split A tactic, B-site smoke tactic, split B-site tactic, and 2 tactics from CT spawn, and we're going to cover a few extra grenades. For the default setup, it will usually have 1 to 3 guys up banana, 1 to 3 guys in mid, and trying to get control of the apartments as well with 1 to 2 guys, depending on how you want to play it. Most of the time on T side, you want to be able to have control of both the banana area and the apartments area for this strategy. So therefore you can choose to go either way relatively easily, depends where you get a pick or what you want to execute. To execute onto the B bomb site, you require control of banana. To execute on the A bomb site, having control of apartments pushes them back into the pit area or on site, so therefore it's less positions for you guys to cover, and it's much easier to smoke them off, nade them out, flash them out, or pre-fire them if needed. You also want to make sure that the rotation from B to A is not occurring if you're going to hit A, but is occurring if you're going to hit B. So that's what this strategy is all about. You keep pressure on both spots, so they're either going to be, there's going to almost always be 2 on B at the same time, and 3 at A. Usually if you don't have pressure on the banana area, there'll only be 1 on B and 4 at A, so if you try to push A, it's going to be difficult. It all depends on where you get the pick. The big guys can rotate to Nana, the apartment guy can keep pressure on apartments even if you're pushing B, just to keep that guy there. Okay, now we're going to talk about an A bomb site smoke execute. So this is where you're going to go from the diggity or the right side of mid from T spawn and the apartments area to hit A site. Keeping pressure on banana early to keep that second guy at banana is very useful, but it's going to be mainly from this push here. So you're going to have 2 to 4 guys pushing dig and 1 to 2 guys pushing the apartments, and maybe 1 guy in banana depending on how you want to handle it. The smokes required are a jungle smoke, so you can get to diggity with ease, a smoke at the truck, and a smoke at the pit, and a smoke at the mini pit. So this smokes off all the strong positions and allows you to pretty much take the site. Molotovs, pit, graveyard are good. The closet at jungle can also be useful, and also the quad as well. Alright, let's have a look at how to do these. So this smoke here is a smoke for the jungle from second mid. There's a few ways you can do the smoke. This one lands at the back of jungle, blocking off the closet and anyone opening that position here. You can also just throw a smoke up mid like this. This smoke is a lot closer, so you might have to worry about people getting up close and flashing through. This smoke here smokes off the truck. There are again a few ways to do this smoke, depending on whether you want to do it safely or you want to do it non-telegraphed. So this is the non-telegraphed smoke. It's a bit more unsafe, but you can throw it like this. So pretty much you're blocking off that little corner there, so anyone in pit can't shoot you guys while you're crossing onto the side. And you'll combine it with this smoke here, so you can almost ignore pit. You'll still want to watch it, but you can almost ignore it. So this will smoke off the other side of the pit, and these 2 smokes mean you can get onto the site and around the site without having to worry about pit. You can also do this non-telegraphed as well. Again, it's a bit risky, so just be careful with it. And also, you don't want to cross the graveyard with these smokes up since they're not all the way back. So you won't be able to get to graveyard easily. Mini pit's a bit more difficult to smoke off. And this smoke here, it does leave a gap on the left hand side, but again, if you're not crossing to graveyard, it won't matter. You can also do another one from back here. So this will go further to the left, so more away from the site, depending on where you want to land it. This does leave a bit of a longer gap, and at the closet there, it's pretty easy to spot people though. So the Molotov's closet, you want to get this one to pop outside of the closet, so they actually have to run through more of the Molotov if they are standing there. This one here is for the corner, dark corner here in the quad. For the graveyard, you can just do here. You don't have to do all of these Molotovs. It's just the Molotovs where you think they'll be playing, or where you just want to clear out specific positions. So on Inferno, there's lots of places to molotov. Flashbangs, you can just flash mid to get peek up mid, or just to help your teammates out. This will flash everyone in quad, everyone in jungle. You can just throw a flash over Diggity to flash people in pit, people playing at the quad, people playing at jungle as well. From apartments, you can use a little ledge here to flash on top of the pit pillar. Alright, now let's look at the wrap A site. So this is where you're going to hit from jungle, with a little bit of help from the apartments. So it's going to be, you know, a smoke off, dig, hit jungle strat. You can keep a little bit of pressure on banana just to keep that second guy there. Alright, so let's have a look at this. So you're going to smoke off Diggity. You're going to smoke off pit. You're going to smoke off the arch, and you're going to smoke off the library. So this requires 4 smokes. Molotovs you're going to use for pit, for graveyard. You can also use one for the closet as well, on jungle as well. So, dig smoke, you can do this from T-spawn if you want to do it a quick one. Blocks off dig quite nicely. You can also do it from second mid again if you want to go safe, if you're worried about like an AWPer in jungle. It can leave a gap though, so just be careful. For archers, you can do this from second mid. It lands in the arch quite nicely, and clean as well, which is good. For the library smoke, it's a bit less clean, so you can do this from the cutout jungle there. Pop in front of the library, which blocks off library. It's a very small gap. They might be able to spot you, but there shouldn't be much seeing. You can do it slightly non-telegraphed one as well. It's going to pop there. This one's a bit more difficult because it blocks off that corner, so just watch out there. For the pit smoke, you can do this from second mid. This lands near the pit pillar. It blocks off pit to the jungle area, so that's pretty good. Closet molotov, you're going to bounce it, so it's going to land outside of the closet, so they've got to run through a significant amount of the molotov. For the graveyard molotov, you're going to throw it from apartments, it's easiest. And for the pit molotov, you'll throw it from apartments. You don't need to throw all of these molotovs, just where you think they're going to play. For flashbangs, you can just flash up mid quite easily. It'll flash people both jungle and in the Diggity area. You can also flash the Diggity area, which will flash pit, the quad, and even jungle as well. You can flash jungle as well from top mid, which will flash anyone playing in the mini pit, anyone playing jungle, and anyone playing at the archers as well. Just gotta make sure you keep it high enough. You can also flash pit from apartments using the roof. It'll land on the pit pillar. Alright, let's look at a split A. So you get this one, you're going to hit from jungle, from Diggity, and from the apartments all at once. You can also keep pressure on banana just to keep that second guy at banana. So you're gonna have about half your forces from jungle, half your forces from dig, and maybe one or two guys from apartments, and maybe one guy at B. So it depends what you think is going to be their strongest point, maybe where you should put your more guys. So the smokes for this are going to be archers, library, and the molotovs are going to be in pit, and graveyard, closet, and the quad. You don't need to do all these molotovs, just where you think they're going to be playing. So if they're not playing anybody in graveyard, maybe there's no point doing that molotov. So for the archer smoke, you can do this from the edge of second mid. It pops in archers nice and cleanly. For the library smoke, you can do this from the top of middle, jungle side. It lands right in front of the library. This is a bit fiddly, but it is quite clean. If you want a less fiddly one, you can just do this from the edge of the jungle side. The problem with this one, it kind of actually lands on the corner where you're trying to cross, so you're actually going to be running through smoke. For the closet molotov, you want to pop it outside of closet, but that will reach the closet, so they've got to run through a large portion of the molotov. For the quad molotov, you just throw it in there. Same deal as the closet if you can. Graveyard, you're going to do this from the apartments. Just going to pop the hidden graveyard spot. And pit, you can do this from apartments as well. It'll pop in the most favored pit position. For the flashbangs, you can flash up mid using the pillar. It'll flash both jungle and dig quite nicely. You can flash diggity as well. This will flash pit near the quad, jungle as well. Flash jungle. Make sure you get this one high enough, so it will flash mini pit, the closet and jungle, and archers if it's high enough. From apartments, you just use the little ledge to flash. This will flash on top of the pillar and pit, flashing people in pit. We're going to look at a B site smoke execute. So this is what's going to happen if you're going to hit B with almost all your forces. You just, the rush B, no stop. So you're going to have most of your forces at B, and maybe one in apartments, just to put a bit of pressure. Keep a third guy off B, maybe keep a second guy off B if he puts enough pressure there. And one maybe mid to do the same as well. So the smoke's going to be your CT spawn smoke, your construction smoke, or your coil smoke. Molotovs, first oranges, second oranges, new box, and dark, if needed. So you can throw all these Molotovs. Pick the Molotovs where you think they're going to be playing. It might be a bit hard to throw all 4 Molotovs. So for CT spawn smoke, you can throw it like this. It's pretty close, blocks off quite nicely. Or if you've peeked it and there's no one there, you can just throw it from here. You don't want to telegraph this fast. Shouldn't worry too much about telegraphing this one because the smokes land pretty quickly anyway. For construction, you can throw it like this. It blocks off the construction, and even if they jump on top of the coils, it can still block it off there a bit. New boxes, you can throw this from deep banana by jumping on the wood stack. The first oranges, you can throw this from car. It lands and burns out first oranges quite nicely. Second oranges from car again. This is from the right side of the car, whereas first orange is from the left side of the car. The fire does actually spread to this corner there. But new boxes from the car, same spot as second oranges, just a little bit differently aimed. Just gonna molotov off new boxes there. For dark, you can actually crouch walk underneath being seen here and fire one into dark. It might just be easier just to flash and check it rather than molotov it out, depending on if they're playing it really well. For flashbangs, you can flash over CT as you're throwing the CT smoke. This flashes pretty much everybody on site, except people at coils. To get one that flashes everybody on site, you can throw it a bit more to the left. This will flash everybody on site much cleaner. And it'll pop flash both the oranges. You can do a further CT flash as well, if you need to from closer up. Alright, now we're going to look at the split B site. So this is where you're going to hit B from the main entrance and from construction as well. So you're going to have most of your forces in the banana area, with maybe a small distraction in the apartments or up mid, just to keep the pressure on, to keep the third guy off B, to delay the rotation, pick off rotators. But you're mainly going to focus on that banana area. So for this one you're going to do a deep CT smoke and a B site smoke. And molotovs are going to be first oranges, second oranges, new boxes, and dark again. So for the smokes, for the deep CT smoke, you go up to the cart, and this will smoke off the edge of the truck. They can only see if they jump on top of this ledge here. So that's your deep CT smoke. This allows you to get into this construction, hopefully without getting seen by an extra guy in CT spawn, depending how passive they're holding. For the site smoke, just going to be throwing there. This allows you to cross to the barbecue area without really being seen from sight. So you can take a 4v1 duel on the guy in CT, and then you can take a 4v1 duel split from the guy on site. First orange is molotov, up by the car. Second orange is molotov, from the right side of the car. it does get to this corner. For the new boxes, same spot as the second oranges, just a bit aimed to the left. So this just forces them out of positions on the B side. For dark, you can crouch walk to the corner here. And you fire it. This is probably the least effective of the 4 molotovs, but it can be useful. For flashbangs, you can do a city spawn flashbang. This will flash most of the people on site. It will not flash people playing at coils. To flash people playing at coils, you can do just a site molotov, which is just, aim a bit more to the left than the other one. This will flash everybody on site as well, unless they're playing deep in dark. To flash a guy at CT, you can do a fast CT flash as well, just to force him out of that position. And now we're going to look at one of the most common strategies, a split B from CT spawn. So this is where you're going to go from banana, from jungle through to CT to B site. Very strong strategy, if done well. It forces the B guys to watch 2 different directions at once. And it confuses the A players because to rotate through CT there's so many places they have to clear before they can actually rotate. You can keep a guy in apartments just to distract if you wish. The smokes for this strategy are going to be the diggity smoke, or the right side of mid smoke, the library smoke, the construction smoke. If you're going to push banana too soon, this is more optional. Molotovs are going to be for the closet in jungle, first oranges, second oranges, new boxes and dark. They're all optional, but if you're having problems with these spots, the molotovs come in quite handy. You probably can't do all the molotovs. Do the molotovs where you think they're going to be playing, or where you think you're going to have the most trouble clearing. For the diggity smoke, you can do this from city spawn for a quick push, if you wish. You can also do it from second mid if you're going to run up second mid, and do it that way. There's a small gap on that left-hand side. They actually can't really see it from dig, so don't worry. It's kind of a bit of a one-way smoke there. For library, you can do this from jungle. This one takes a while to pop, and does leave you exposed when you're throwing it, so I wouldn't call it the best smoke, but it does smoke off library quite nicely. This smoke is much more useful for this strategy. It smokes off the library and the mini pit, so you can run through archers pretty easily, and it's less telegraphed and much faster to throw. To smoke off construction from banana, just line up at the second pole here. This smokes off construction quite nicely. For the molotovs, closet, you want it to pop outside of closet, so they got to run through all the molotov before they can get outside closet, taking the most amount of damage. First oranges, you'll throw it from the car. Second oranges, you'll throw it from the right side of the car. Again, these molotovs are optional, but if you want to clear out certain positions, you can throw them. You don't need to throw all the molotovs, because you probably want people pushing as you're throwing the molotovs. For the new boxes, you're going to be from the same spot of car, just aim a bit more to the left. For dark, you're going to have to crouch walk to the edge here, and throw it all the way back in dark. Alright, now let's look at the flashbangs. Using this pillar here, you can flash off mid, both jungle and dig. To flash jungle, you can do this from top mid quite nicely. Flashes mini pit, flashes jungle, and it flashes with the archers. For B site, you can do a close CT flash, which pop pretty much over the CT spawn close there. You can do a close sight flash. You want to make sure you're not flashing your people as they're pushing from CT with these flashbangs though, so just be careful when you throw them. And you can do a fast CT flash as well. For a split A from CT, this is a bit more of a tricky strategy, but it can work off if done correct. So this is where you're going to hit A from jungle, diggity, apartments, and archers or library, depending how you want to play it. So this is useful if you get too much pressure on banana, and maybe there's 3 guys there, and but you can't fall back quickly enough. or for some other reason. So you're going to have a bit of forces in the banana pushing to CT, bit of forces pushing jungle, bit of forces pushing diggity, and a bit of forces pushing carpets. There are 2 site smokes for B to get out here. And you're going to do library smoke, the pit, and the truck smoke. Molotovs are going to be for the closet, for the quad, for pit, and for graveyard. The Molotovs are a bit more optional, just do it where you think they're going to be playing. For the site smokes, these are both going to be done from banana. This is probably the best site smoke, but that does leave a little bit of a gap if anyone's playing it dark to get you guys as you're crossing to CT spawn. To compensate for that gap, there's this second smoke, which looks very similar to a construction smoke, but it lands just there, and this will block off that little gap quite nicely. For the truck smoke, you can do this from second mid quite easily. Lands in front of the truck. You got to make sure there's only a small gap to the left, though, otherwise you're going to be running through smoke, so just watch out there. You can do a non-telegraph smoke as well, which is probably a better smoke, but it's a bit more risky to throw, so just be careful. For the pit smoke, second mid, it's quite a good smoke from here. Quite safe, quite strong. If you're on site, you can't cross the graveyard with this smoke, so just be careful. You can do a non-telegraph version of this as well, from diggity, or the right side of mid. Again, crossing to graveyard is not recommended, as that's not actually blocked off. For the molotovs, closet, you want to land this outside of the closet, but so that it'll reach the closet, so you've got to run through most of the molotov. Same for the quad, if you can. For the graveyard, from apartments is quite nice. Again, you don't need to throw all these molotovs, just the ones you think the positions they'll be. And pit is also from the apartments. Let's have a look at some of the flashbangs. Using this column, you can flash mid, both sides of mid quite nicely, both jungle and diggity. To flash diggity in particular, you can throw a flash over there, which will flash pit, diggity, and jungle as well. To flash jungle, you can do this from top mid. This will flash mini pit, the closet, and archers. To flash pit and a bit of sight, you can do this from apartments quite nicely and land on the column bit in there. Let's have a look at some extra grenades. So this one here smokes off the quad area. It could be useful if you're having troubles at the quad, but you still want to push the quad area. This smokes off on top of the truck. Could be useful. Bit less useful because they can see around the right side. This one allows you to get into the boiler from apartments. Blocks off the long haul. Molotov, you can molotov off the truck there, which gets that little corner here. This molotov you can combine with the next 2 molotovs to get someone out of boiler if you think they're playing there. So all these molotovs land in boiler, forcing them out of the boiler area, and they're going to have to run through so many molotovs to get there. You can molotov off the dark room as well, forcing them out of that position. You can also molotov off them from the balcony area if you're having troubles there. To get control of banana, you can use molotovs as well. So you can molotov off the car if they're AWPing there or something like that. And sandbags molotov is very useful as well if you think they're going to be playing there. Some flashbangs, you can flash from apartments out to site. Could be useful. It's very easy to see, very easy to dodge. To get control of banana, there's some flashbangs also useful. Flashing car pops quite nicely and doesn't expose yourself to car. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.